Chapter 2. You look so good with blonde hair and black roots, it's like not even funny. Romy and Michelle's high school reunion. Beverly Hills, California. Helen. I thought I was ready to face the consequences of my transgression. But when I settle into the chair, Rain's deep groan is laced with anguish. I can't believe you'd do this to me. Cheat on me. Again. I know. What can I say? I have no self-control. A palm rises in the space between us. Talk to the hand, darling. Talk to the hand. I take that hand and give it a tentative squeeze. Do you forgive me? A return squeeze gives me hope, but the disgusted grunt that follows has me on tenterhooks again. I can't live without Rain, but when you're on the road, you have to do what you have to do. It's just that Rain whips the chair around and her hands grip its arms, flanking me. Dark brown irises ringing huge pupils sweep over my face. Next time you have the urge, call me first. You can't know how much it hurts me when you stray, honey. I nod, hopeful that we can move on from this. Believe me, it's worse for me. It just gets to the point when I can't hold back. I'm away from home and you just go and let any old woman, well, it was a man this time. There's a long pause, and I hold my breath as Rain turns away. After what seems like an eon, sure hands snap the shiny black cape into the air. As it settles over me, I can finally breathe again. I'll do my best. We're doing color today, too, I assume. If you think. Oh, I think. Right. I nod, grateful that she seems to have forgiven me. I've cleared my afternoon for you. We're gonna need it, sweet cheeks. After confirming that my hair is free of product, Rain preps to bleach my roots. Just as she dips a brush into the foul-smelling brew, my cellular phone rings from my bag. She sighs. You know I don't like those things in here. I do, but I'm crewing up for a new movie job, so I have a lot of calls out. She points at my briefcase. You better take it now. Once I start with the bleach, I don't want you putting that thing anywhere near your ear. I'll make it quick. They say having it by your head all day will give you cancer, she mutters. I press the button to answer without taking her bait. Helen O'Neill. Hey, Helen. It's Danielle Goodwin returning your call. The young woman's mellow accent is always a pleasure to hear, but I cut to the chase. So, what do you think? Want to come back and work for me? I can't. I'll pay you whatever you need. I'm sorry, Helen. I'll be forever grateful to you for giving me a start, but I'm juggling 4 jobs as it is. I guess it was too much to expect that you'd be free. Rain's giving me the wrap-it-up finger circle, but I press on. But if you let those 4 jobs go and come work for me, you could start moving up the ladder. The minute I get a line producer job, I'd hire you to be my UPM. Helen, her tone makes it clear that I'm pushing my luck. You've said you're not interested, but you're so smart and capable. We need more women like you in the producer pipeline. You could run circles around half the men I've worked for. Helen, she repeats, a hint of exasperation coloring her tone. All right, all right. I know how to choose my battles as well as change tactics. So, any recommendations? What about that friend of yours? Which one? The redhead. The high school teacher. I forget her name. Violet? That's it. What about her? I know I pay more than public school. She's got her own casting company now. Damn it. All the smart women end up being their own bosses. If I remember correctly, you're the one who told us to do just that. About 15 times. She adds, the tease in her voice making me smile despite my disappointment. Silly me. Rain clears her throat dramatically. Listen, I've got to go, but if you think of anyone, let me know. And let's get a drink while I'm in town. After I press the button to hang up, Rain holds out her hand. Give that thing to me so you're not tempted to answer. She examines the phone before dropping it into a drawer. I'll admit it's cute. I didn't know they came in colors now. That Nokia's the latest fashion accessory, didn't you know? She tuts as she begins to apply the bleach. That's ridiculous. I like the bright color because it's easier to find in my purse. And it's so cheap. I can't believe how much I spent on my Motorola, and how often that damn antenna broke off. They're all a waste of money, if you ask me. It's different for you. You work out of one place. But me? I've got a new office phone with every production. No one would ever be able to find me if I didn't have a cell phone. I suppose, she says under her breath as she continues the painstaking process. So, what's this new movie? It's called Hacked. Pretending I'm doing a trailer voiceover, I spit out the log line I've heard so many times I've got it memorized. The question isn't why he does it, but how. Based on an unbelievable true story. A prodigy of a programmer run amok bites off more than he can chew when he breaks into the computer of a top security technology expert. Sounds exciting? It's had 7 writers. Half the scenes are dudes on computers in basements, and the other half is gobbledygook on computer screens, with a few car chases thrown in for good measure. It'll probably suck. But you took the job anyway? If I only worked on good movies or even decent movies, I'd be sitting at home twiddling my thumbs. As long as I've lived in this town, I still don't get how all these bad movies get made, she says as she adjusts the location of a hair clip. Somebody somewhere along the line thought every movie had the potential to warrant the investment of millions of dollars. But whether it's too many cooks or trying to recreate last year's hit, or an egotistical star's demands, it gets watered down or overloaded to the point that it's ruined. And you don't care about that? I start to shake my head, but firm hands hold it in place. Those are choices made by the above-the-line folks, the people who make the creative calls and who get a cut of the profits. The director, the big actors, the producers. Aren't you a producer? I've been a line producer on a few smaller projects, but I'm a unit production manager on this. I report to the LP who reports to the executive producer. Talk about too many cooks. Exactly. The only creative decisions I make involve how to get the most out of a budget. Like the rest of the crew, I do the best I can with what they give me. Besides, we below-the-line folks get paid even if the film flops. She snorts as she pores over my scalp, checking her work. Where is this particular potential flop filming? And for how long? Am I going to have to fly in and rescue this head of hair from your baser impulses? North Carolina. Just for 6 weeks or so. If I remember correctly, Carolina was the place where you got a cut that wasn't half bad. High praise. That's as good as it gets. Who was that? Let's see. That was a few years ago. It was a girl who was kind of a floater, did hair and makeup. Lily, maybe? No, that's not it. Winnie? I hope you're not like this when you're talking about me. Rain, I've known you for more than a decade. I met this girl once. Oh, Whitney, that's right. She was a tiny little thing, had the sweetest accent and big blue eyes. This takes us to the subject of the latest Hollywood gossip. Rain's got tons of PR people and agents and managers coming through her salon, so she's got the best dirt. Speaking of blondes, did you hear Ellen DeGeneres is dating that Anne Heche? The one that's got a haircut like mine? Not as good as yours, but yes. By the time she's given me the rundown on the other celebrity and industry couples, my hair is slathered. All right, you've got about half an hour while this processes. You want a magazine or something? I'd take a coffee, but I've got calls to make. You need to learn how to relax. I stick out my tongue at her. Phone, please. Work, 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 Rain says disapprovingly, but she digs my phone out of the drawer and hands it over. I manage to lock in 2 crew chiefs, and I'm about to call the travel coordinator to pass on their contact information when Rain snaps her fingers to get my attention. Time to wash that out, honey. After she's done whatever magic she does to tone the color so that I look more like Ellen Barkin and less like Pamela Anderson, she pulls a comb through my hair. What about the cut? Are we going for fuck me or don't fuck with me this time? Can I get a little of both? You know how it is at work. If I don't look and act tough, the men on set will run all over me. I hear you, she croons. But I am in a bit of a dry spell on the other front. I thought you had a whole lineup of friends you could booty call. I did, but they keep pairing off. Every time I get back into town, it's another man down. Maybe you need to find one to settle down with. I wave that suggestion away. In my experience, the male half of the species is incompatible with monogamy. She just raises a brow. I raise a hand in supplication, which is fine, as long as everyone is honest about their expectations. There is a difference between what you want and what you expect, you know. I lower my chin and fix her with my most challenging stare, the one I use when a director's claiming I could find money for whatever bright new idea he's had, even though he knows the budget's already set. I'll settle down when you settle down. Girl, you know I like to play the field. She catches my eye in the mirror, but for different reasons than you. Rain knows most of my deepest, darkest secrets. Hell, she probably knows the secrets of half of the people in this town. She's that good of a hairdresser. And she's right. Whereas she loves the variety, across genders as well as individuals, I'm solidly in the heterosexual monogamy camp. I let out an uncharacteristic sigh of defeat. Maybe it's me. You can be intimidating. It's my turn to send a brow raise to the mirror. Not to me, silly. Anywho, I think I can give you a look that'll do the trick. Sexy when you want, serious when you want. It'll be all about the styling. When I make a face, she adds, "Don't worry, I know you hate to take time to do your hair." She begins to snip away. For work, you'll slick it back with gel. That'll tell him you mean business. Like Gordon Gekko? More like Halle Berry or Nev Campbell. When you want to attract the boys rather than scare 'em off, you go for more texture and volume, like Winona Ryder. I am older than all of these women, you know. She whaps me lightly on the arm. Shush! You're as hot as you've ever been. Some of us get better with age. I have no idea how old Rain is, but her tawny skin is unlined, and she's as sassy as she was when we met. Rain, is it wrong that my most stable and long-lasting relationship is with my hairdresser? If it is, then there's a lot of wrong in this town. Hell, it could be worse. You could be with someone far less fabulous.